There are so many presidents in Africa that have done a lot for their countries but don't earn as much respect as they should. There are those that are nonsense in character and people have come to terms that you don't mess around with them. Here is the list of the most feared and respected African presidents. Number 10. Chukwura. Lazarus McCarthy Chukwura, born April 5, 1955, is a Malawian theologian and politician who has served as president of Malawi since June 2020. In addition to the presidency, he also gave himself a cabinet portfolio as Minister of Defense. He has been the leader of the Malawi Congress Party since 2013 following highly controversial elections held on May 21, 2019 which were overturned by the Constitutional Court. Chukwura has said that he was working to trim executive powers to make presidents more accountable to people and increase powers of other branches of the government. It is due to this and so many other things that he is among the most respected African presidents. Number 9. MSWATI III, King of Eswatini. Despite suffering a lot of criticism lately, King MSWATI remains among the most respected African presidents. Born in Manzini on April 19, 1968, MSWATI was crowned as MSWATI III, Nguema, and King of Swaziland, on April 25, 1986 at the age of 18. Thus becoming the youngest ruling monarch in the world at that time. He rules the country as an absolute monarch. MSWATI III is known for his practice of polygamy, although at least 2 wives are appointed by the state, and currently has 15 wives. Although he is respected and fairly popular in Eswatini, his policies and lavish lifestyle have led to local protests and international criticism. Number 8. President George Weah, Liberia. President Weah took over the office in 2018 amidst criticism from sectors who believed he was not qualified to rule the people of Liberia. Although accusations of corruption have marred his government, many critics claim that the Weah administration's achievements surpass that of any other president since the country's independence in 1847. His greatest achievements include the announcement of free education for Liberians up to the university level and his commitment to connecting all county capitals by paved. What he achieved in the world of football made him so popular that he was nearly worshipped, and this has continued to put him on the map of the most respected presidents in Africa. Number 7. President Cyril Ramaphosa, South Africa. A lover of fast cars, vintage wine, trout fishing, and game farming, South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is a controversial figure. However, the president deserves some accolades for repositioning the South African economy to take over the number 1 position in Africa with a target of rands 1.2 trillion over the next 3 years. As a skilled negotiator and strategist who acted as the ANC's chief negotiator during South Africa's transition to democracy, Ramaphosa built up the most influential trade union in the country, the National Union of Mine Workers. His negotiation skills have helped in no small way in helping the country overcome hostile situations that would ordinarily have affected the country's stability and relationships with other African nations. Ramaphosa will also remain in history that during his regime, the courts of the law tried and sentenced an ex-president Jacob Zuma on accounts of embezzlement of funds when he was the President of the Republic of South Africa. Number 6. Teodoro Obiang Nguema, President of Equatorial Guinea. In July 2003, state-operated radio declared Obiang the country's god with all power over men and things. It added that the president was in permanent contact with the Almighty and can decide to kill without anyone calling him to account and without going to hell. He made similar comments in 1993. Macias had also proclaimed himself a god. Number 5. Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, leader of the Sovereignty Council Sudan. Abdel Fattah Abdulrahman al-Burhan, born in 1960, is a Sudanese politician and Sudanese army general who is currently serving as chairman of the Sovereignty Council of Sudan, the country's collective transitional head of state. Before assuming this role in August 2019, he was the de facto head of state of Sudan as chairman of the Transitional Military Council after former chairman Ahmed Awad Ibn Auf resigned and transferred control in April 2019. Burhan's record is considered to be cleaner than that of most of Sudan's generals, and he met with protesters during the Sudanese revolution to listen to their demands. What a darling! This has made him popular amongst the people of Sudan and across Africa. Being a general who's been in several wars and won many, he's respected and feared for that regard despite being calmer than the rest. Number 4. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt. Abdel Fattah Saeed Hussein Khalil al-Sisi, born November 19, 1954, is an Egyptian politician who is the sixth and current president of Egypt, former director of military intelligence, former minister of defense, and former general. While still serving as the Minister of Defense and ultimately Commander-in-Chief of the Egyptian Armed Forces, Sisi was involved in the military coup that removed then-President Mohamed Morsi from office on July 3, 2013. In 2020, uprisings rocked Egypt in what was called the Egyptian Revolution, also known as the Galabiya Uprising. These were decentralized street protests in Egypt that started on September 20, 2020, the anniversary of the 2019 Egyptian protests, calling for Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to resign and was able to deal with the rioters decisively. He's feared, he's respected, he is a no-nonsense president. Number 3. Muhammadu Buhari. Muhammadu Buhari is the reigning president of the Republic of Nigeria, a country that has been largely affected by Boko Haram, especially in the rural areas. Despite this, Buhari has continuously led the oil-rich country in the right direction. He's looked at as the no-nonsense president among the West African countries, continuously cracking down all protests in the country with ease. He's seen a crackdown on social media, especially Twitter, which he had used to warn people against misuse of social media. Number 2. Yoweri Museveni, President of Uganda. Yoweri Museveni is a Ugandan politician, retired senior military officer, and the UPDF Commander-in-Chief who has served as President of Uganda since 1986. Museveni was involved in rebellions that toppled Ugandan leaders Idi Amin, 1971–79, and Milton Obote, 1980–85, before he captured power in 1986. There is no way you can mention the most respected presidents in Africa and forget to mention Museveni. He's known to have constantly been critical of the whites and their demonization of Africa. He continues to call for the unification of the continent. In this effort, the President of the Republic of Uganda has exported his UPDF army to other countries on the continent to bring peace, and among them is South Sudan, Chad, Mali, Somalia, Democratic Republic of Congo, and success stories have been registered, hence making him popular as a Pan-Africanist. Being one of the longest-serving presidents in Africa and the most experienced, most of the new presidents always seek his wisdom on how best they can run their countries on the continent. Museveni is seen as a godfather to the rest. Number 1. Paul Kagame, President of Rwanda. Kagame takes the crown of being the most feared African president present. He represents a generation that doesn't tolerate nonsense, and in his country of Rwanda, his word is final. Mentioning Kagame's name in Rwanda can lead you into coolers, and that's how he leads his people. He has created so much fear in them that no one wants to do anything contrary to his beliefs. The crackdown on his political opponents has been him a name across Africa, and in turn making him more feared than respected. Describing Kagame's personality, Romeo Dallaire has written that he has a studious air that didn't quite disguise his hawk-like intensity. American journalist Stephen Kinzer, who wrote the biography A Thousand Hills in collaboration with Kagame himself, describes him as one of the most intriguing leaders in Africa. Despite praising Kagame's leadership skills, Kinzer also cites a personality of chronic impatience, barely suppressed anger, and impulsive scorn for critics. Despite his flaws, he's known for his willingness to see Rwanda become a model country in Africa, and a lot can be seen in that direction. This writer was spot on what this gallant African president is. You can comment in the comment section below with the list of whom you think are the most feared and respected Africa president, and don't forget to subscribe.